Okay, so today we're going to talk about why ice melts faster in fresh water rather than salt water. And so here we have two systems, but first we're going to kind of take our eye down here and we're going to talk about density. And a lot of times we use the words density and weight unanimously, and that's not exactly true. We can't really just flip-flop those words like we normally do. Density is what we're talking about today, and it's how tightly something is packed, at least for our purposes. That's the basic definition we're going to be looking at. And so let's look over here at freshwater, and we have the ice cube, and it's melting. That cold water is coming off of that ice cube, and in a freshwater system, nothing is dissolved in this. No ions, nothing blocking the way from keeping water doing what it wants to do. So we have the warmer water. Warmer water is going to be less dense. And then the colder water is going to be more dense. So right here we have a situation where when that ice melts, that cold water is able to sink to the bottom of the beaker. And that warm water is retained at the top. So that warmer water is melting that ice cube a lot quicker than we do see in salt water. Now let's look at salt water. So we have these dissolved ions in the water now. They're fully dissolved, equally dispersed. And when that ice cube tries to melt, we see that there's not a good convection going on. The warm and cold is not being equally distributed. We see that there's this ice cube at the top, and this warm water can't go where it wants to go. The warm water can't stay at the top, it can't rise to the top, and the cold water can't really go down because of all the salt that's dissolved in it. Because salt has a higher density than warm or cold water. So it makes it hard for this system to do what it wants. So when we're talking about density, and in these two systems we're starting off with the highest density, which would be salt water. And then we have cold water because it sinks to the bottom. And then we have just room temperature water, regular. And then at the very bottom we have warm water. Okay, so when we're looking at increasing density, we see that salt water is at the top. And this is the exact reason why ice cubes don't melt as quick. That cold water can't fall to the bottom and allow warm water molecules to come up. So this begs the question, why do we put salt on roads? Why do we think that water has these properties, and that salt has these properties that it doesn't? So that can be what we talk about next time.